Good evening. This is All India Radio, Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says country is now better prepared to fight COVID pandemic. Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee urges for more calibrated strategy to battle the raging pandemic in the state. Naga People's Front expresses dismay over the state's financial management. And Cyclone Yaas makes landfall, crosses Odisha coast. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, follow all the precautions, and all those above 45 years who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with second dose at a scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, focus on hand and face hygiene, and maintain a distance of 2 yards for social distancing. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asserted that the country is now better prepared to fight the COVID pandemic as a better understanding to strengthen the strategies against it has evolved. Delivering his keynote address on the occasion of virtual Vesak global celebrations through video conference on Buddha Purnima today, Modi said, the country now has vaccines which are important to save lives and defeat the pandemic. Lauding the efforts of the scientists who worked on the COVID-19 vaccines, he extended his gratitude towards all frontline and healthcare workers, doctors and nurses who selflessly risk their lives every day to serve others in need. The Prime Minister also expressed condolences to all those who have lost their dear ones during the pandemic. He remarked that this once-in-a-lifetime pandemic has brought tragedy and suffering at the doorstep of many and has impacted every nation. The Prime Minister said that while fighting COVID-19, one must not lose sight of the other challenges faced by humanity like climate change, terror and radicalization. Modi remarked that the life of Gautama Buddha was about peace, harmony and coexistence. The Prime Minister said Lord Buddha was the reservoir of brilliance for the entire universe. Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee (NPCC) has urged for a more calibrated strategy as the state battles the raging pandemic along with the rest of the country. In a letter to the Chief Minister today, the NPCC said measures must be taken on a war footing to alleviate the current situation. It recalled a meeting convened by Governor on 21st April and said there has been no significant evidence of any implementation of the suggestions put forward. The NPCC said this situation needs more serious attention of the state government as many precious lives have been lost, adding that the performance of the state government has been monotonous. NPCC opined that COVID-19 pandemic is not politics. NPCC said if the state government is guided by qualified experts, the state has a chance of improving the current situation. NPCC's 12 points containment strategy to the government include increase in mass testing, especially in vulnerable areas and potential hotspots, expedite vaccine procurement and increase vaccination centers, reactivate government quarantine facilities, announcement of financial incentive for children who have lost their parents or earning members due to COVID-19, utilize the services of government employees in respective places of posting, and MP and MLA LATP funds be used for procurement of medical equipments. Supot Kumar Jaiswal today took charge as the Director of Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI. He has been appointed as director for a period of 2 years. Jaiswal, a 1985 batch IPS officer of Maharashtra, Gada, was selected by a high-powered committee led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and comprising Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, and Congress Lok Sabha leader, Adhir Ranjan Chowdhury. Jaiswal also worked as Director General of Central Industrial Security Force. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. The Naga People's Front NPF has expressed serious concern over the financial management of the state government. A press communique from the NPF Press Bureau stated that the government has not shown any of its collections and expenses, proving the financial mismanagement of last year's state budget 2020-21. It also alleged that the government never disclosed in public domain how the 15% of pro rata cut from non-planned collection was spent, including the 20% increase made for the year 2021-22 from non-plan also remained a secret, stating that increasing collection has been made in the name of COVID-19 expenses, along with central government fund allocations for the current financial year. NPF alleged that the state government's extravagant spending remains another mystery. The NPF is also of the view that all the health centers in the district headquarters or in the subdivisions in the rural areas has no allocations in the name of COVID-19. The NPF said the government should not take any advantage of the pandemic for their personal benefit, as civil societies are contributing their best efforts in terms of monetary funds, spiritual, material, and physical. The party reminded the Chief Minister that the Naga people's high expectation on his leadership would bring developmental changes, but with mismanagement of fund and corruption has proved wrong in the eye of the general public. The NPF therefore called upon the government to be sincere and serious enough, as worse times are likely to hit the state if the present trend of corruption continues. Cyclone Yaas has made landfall and has crossed the Odisha coast south of Balasore as a very severe cyclonic storm, and it is expected to reach Jharkhand tomorrow morning. Talking to AIR News, Director General, India Meteorological Department, Mrutyunjay Mohapatra said, heavy to extremely heavy rainfall will continue to batter Odisha through the day. He said West Bengal, Sikkim, Bihar and Jharkhand are likely to witness heavy to very heavy rainfall today and tomorrow. Power Department has imposed power load shedding in and around Kohima town, particularly during evening and night hours. Chief Engineer of Transmission and Generation Penrithing Yantan said the load shedding has been regulated as the 132 kV power transformer at the 132 substation Kohima had developed faults yesterday, during which detailed technical tests were carried out. However, it was found to be damaged. He said due to the outage of this transformer, the capacity of 132 kV Kohima substation is now effectively reduced to half of its installed capacity. Yantan said, with this condition, the department has no option but to regulate power in and around Kohima town by imposing load shedding, particularly during evening and night hours, till alternative arrangements are made. The chief engineer further said the department is taking all measures to immediately restore the damaged transformer. He also requested the public to cooperate and bear with the inconvenience as it struggles to maintain power supply with limited workforce and equipment capacity. Dimapur Fire Station West has been suspended temporarily from attending emergency calls till further order following the detection of COVID-19 positive case. The Department of Fire and Emergency Services in a circular informed that a fire station Dimapur Central and Jumuketima will cover the jurisdiction of Dimapur Fire Station West. Further, the personnel of Fire Station Dimapur West who were on duty during the last 10 days have been directed to remain in isolation or home quarantine. In case any symptoms develop during home quarantine period, they are to report to the competent authority for testing and further medical checkup, it added. The present duty personnel will not leave the jurisdiction of fire station and are directed to get tested for COVID-19. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says country is now better prepared to fight COVID pandemic. Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee urges for more calibrated strategy to battle the raging pandemic in the state. Naga People's Front expresses dismay over the state's financial management. And Cyclone Yaas makes landfall, crosses Odisha coast. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.